You know, now having been cooking on the griddle for several years and becoming somewhat of experts, or at least people that others will reach out to for advice on the griddle, it really got us thinking about what are some things that we wish we knew when we started out that we want to share with you to make your griddle journey easier.
Yes, maybe consider this the beginner's griddler guide.
If you want to hang out with us and find out maybe things that we wish we would have known when we first started griddle cooking, stick around while we dig in.
I can't believe the WALTWINS. They're right there. That's one of them. That's the other one.
I'm the other one.
All right, Brett, you know, this came about, I saw Griddle with Johnny, recently did a video that I had on our list to do for a long time, which are, what are things we wish we had known when we first started griddle cooking? And I thought it's such a valuable time. A lot of people just for the holidays, at Christmas time, just got new griddles. And we're coming into June, which is gonna get here quicker than you think, and a lot more people getting a griddle. Or maybe this is your year two, or maybe things didn't go really well right when you got it, and you wonder, oh man, what could have gone different? Well, we started thinking about what are some things that we would have done differently, or we wish we would have known when we first started griddle cooking.
All right, so first of all, I'm gonna just go right into utensils and accessories. People tend to get excessive, including ourselves. We felt like, okay, we got the griddle, we have to go out and get everything. And now we both have shelves that are just full of a lot of things we don't use because you have your go-to. We have our spatulas, like if you see the ones I've got, they're mismatched. I will get another white-handled one. You get a couple spatulas, some tongs, scraper or two, and that's almost pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need.
Yeah, it is interesting. I've got a whole wagon full of things that I probably will just never use. And now that's not true for everybody. Some people really do use all the different things. I will say I've got some things that I use. I use the taco racks, not all the time, but they're there for when I need.
Very nice to have, yes.
But like you said, I've got so many sets of spatulas that I don't need. I have a ton of different burger presses, of which you'll find which burger press you like the most. There's 2 or 3 that I use. I've got about 4 or 5 others. I actually gave one away recently, and I was really happy to be able to part ways with it.
Maybe we should do a
giveaway. Oh my gosh.
We don't need it, you won't either.
And accessories for the griddles, you don't need giveaway.
That's right.
Well, the thing is they really are tools that everybody can have or need at some one point or another.
Exactly, and there are people that do use a lot of accessories, so we're not downing those, but these are, like we said, the things that we wish we knew, that we didn't have to rush out and buy everything at once. You know, so you'll find like maybe there are certain things you go towards, like the egg and omelet rings. Those are really cool if you're making a lot of omelets and breakfast ideas all day. Go get that stuff, but find out what accessories
of those sitting in a drawer somewhere that I just never use.
Exactly.
We've used them for a couple of videos, but that's about it. Because when it comes to eggs, I just throw my eggs on the griddle now and just get them done. But they are used for specific things, so if they work for you, great. It is very interesting. One thing is, I do love being part of the griddle community on Facebook and Instagram.
Community.
But it is always funny to me when people get their new griddle or whatever, and they show the haul that they got too. I'm happy, and that works. Some advice that my wife gave right at the beginning. She's like, I know you need the accessory kit, so you have some spatulas and the scraper and some water bottles.
Some water bottles,
But why don't you see what you need, and then we'll get what you need. And we started that way, and it was great. But then obviously with the channel, we started, we need this for that cook, we need that, and so that. But with that, I would say, get yourself a good set of knives as well. I mean, we used some cheap knives for the longest time. I mean, it's what we could afford, it's what we had, and that's great. But now we love having a good set of knives. So Brett, aside from accessories, I would say the next thing for me that really stands out, and Brett says this a lot, and he's been saying this for a couple years, but it took me a while to really know this, is trust the process. When it comes to smashing burgers the right way, trust the process. When it comes to how long things should be cooking, trust the process. Everything will end up working out, but just trust what you've learned and trust what you know. And I would say that it helps a lot. It started with when I started following recipes. I'd be like, there's no way this is going to work out. But guess what? Trust the process.
Trust the process and have patience. So when we did the Burger King, copycat of the patty melts, even now, as long as we've done this, we were out of parchment paper. So we tried doing the smash, nice and easy, heating up the press, and it didn't work. But guess what? It didn't affect the flavor. The burger kind of like mushed up a bit. But we flipped it, we saved it. So just know that you can save it too. Just again, trust the process, have the patience. The food's going to be delicious.
Right. I wish I would have known that before I tossed all the burnt buns across the yard once. That only happened once though. But yeah, you really do want to trust the process, and that's something that you get more and more the hang of. And this seems like one that maybe you just have to learn on your own as you go.
But we still are to this day.
Yeah, but you got to take everything out to the griddle with you. It cooks fast.
Yeah,
it cooks hot and fast.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. It cooks fast because you can't. And there's sometimes we're filming and Adam wants to get the perfect shot. And I'm all, Adam, you do realize that is food actively cooking right now. I know Adam's a perfectionist when it comes to this editing and making sure the videos are just right. That I mean, you should see him in hair and makeup, dude. It's crazy. I kid. No, but yeah, you gotta remember that the food is cooking. So you just keep that in mind. Try your best to have everything that you need.
And speaking of the food cooking, we talked about this with the heat. The biggest thing is you almost never need the high heat.
Yes.
I don't know why that took so long to learn. I would always between medium and medium high and all that, like all in there. For smash burgers, we get it.
Yeah, yes.
But
Burgers and steaks all day. It's got to be on high.
But these griddles get over 600 degrees for a good smash burger. 450
no
to 500
one needs
degrees
to
is
cook
plenty.
on that. We're not. These aren't stone fire pizzas.
Yeah, yeah, we're not cooking on the sun.
Yeah.
And so, so you don't need the high heat. And also it's going to save you on propane to not have it running on high. Yep. So lower temperatures are better. In fact, almost for everything else, start low and figure it out. People ask us all the time, where do we cook? And I would say 90% of our dishes are medium low.
Medium
and so
low, huh?
what we
or
say
low
is if you're looking at it, a dial on the clock from the 6, just between
6
the 7, right about the 7.
6, yeah, right around the 7, between the 6 and the 8.
Yeah, the 6 and the 8, which would be 7. About 35 past the hour.
That's right.
And that's just because we've learned, and then we adjust the dials as needed. That's the other thing with trusting the process. Sometimes things are cooking slow. Okay, bring the heat up a little bit. And it is an entire hot pad, so it is hard to cool. So sometimes moving food off the hot zone entirely is what's necessary. Let it cool and then keep going.
Yep.
And Brett, we could go on and on with a lot of different things. But as we talked about it, I mean, there's things that we learned. I would say one that was kind of tricky and funny, use paper towels. I say that. Yep. I went through red towels and shop towels and cut up shirts. Cut up shirt. Oh my gosh, my whole stack of cut up shirts. I forgot about that. And then I only needed the blue shop towels. And then it was, all these things. And then I just finally came down to it. You're going to get a little lint on it, but you learn over time. You start wiping it off, and it can all come off just with paper towels. The paper towels work just as good as anything. And so it's just a little thing that I would say trial and error. And now I use only paper towels, and it's never an issue.
Exactly right.
Obviously, if I'm running a commercial business, that's obviously going to be different. But here we are. So I would say final, Brett. Let's don't go into too much detail. Yeah. So let's just wrap up with one more. What's the last one that we both talked about and really I think is the most important?
Because we wasted so much time and effort with our first couple of griddles that it doesn't have to look perfect. You got to remember, especially when you're cooking as much as we do. And I talk to so many people that say, man, once I got my griddle, I didn't realize I was going to use it 5 times a week. You just got to keep seasoning it and make sure that it is maintained. It doesn't have to look perfect.
Right. And I think with that too that's where it becomes discouraging for some people. They're like, oh, I didn't know how much maintenance was going to go into this. Well, if you clean it right after, it's really little maintenance.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to look perfect. We've done the fixing video a couple times where we've had to fix it.
Yep.
I think we have a couple where we've resurfaced the whole.
Completely grinded it down.
And I don't know that I would do that again unless I just completely had a griddle that was left out for 2 seasons and the rust was too deep. Yep. We've had surface rust and we've been able to scrape it off, re-season it, and it's good to go.
Exactly.
As long as the food is not sticking on your griddle, you do not need to re-season it. If it looks diseased, if it looks rough, it's still okay. It's still cooking, and it's still going to make some amazing food.
And it gives it its own little personality, too.
That's right, it does.
So that's it, man.
That's it. Are there other tips that you wish you knew when you started griddle cooking? And put those in the comments below. This is just kind of a beginning. We might do something like this again and just share, because we love to share what we're learning with griddle cooking. We always say this. We love griddle cooking, and we love what we're learning and sharing what we're learning along the way.
And in fact, if you are new to griddle cooking, if you have any questions, we try our best to answer them all. So you can comment below your questions. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We check our messages there often. And so, check it. Feel free to reach out to us, and we will do our best to help you out. We want to make sure that you're successful so that you'll love it as much as we do.
Man, I love that we get to come and share these kinds of videos with people. If you did enjoy this, if it gave you some ideas and maybe some encouragement to griddle cook, make sure and give this video a thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. It's one way in which you can support us in what we do. Another way you can support us is by purchasing one of our 2 cookbooks, the Epic Outdoor Griddle Cookbook or Smashed. Both are available on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. Love that we get to come and do this and just share some information with our favorite people in the whole world.
That's right. Exactly. The griddle community.
That's right. Aside from coming and sharing this information with our peeps, why else do we do all this?
Because all we do is twin, no matter what.
And with that, we bid you adieu.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
And griddle on.